Hey guys and girls, Emma again. Welcome back to the spare room. This is the middle part, I think, of my trip to America mini-series. About Friday and Saturday at the Barzy Summer Bash, which is kind of a life-changing experience actually. I met some wonderful people. I met some of you guys. Anyone who came up and said hi, I really appreciate it. Some people just got blank looks because yes, I follow their channel, or yes, I read their comments and reply to them. But it's good to put faces to the names because I really don't have a clue until I do that. So I really appreciate those who did come and say hi. Friday I spent at the Standrett Granite factory, or the two factories, doing a tour of how they make granite surface plates, which was pretty awesome actually. I really enjoyed it and lots to learn, and I'll put some clips up here now. The plates are cut with a wire saw and then they're lapped within a couple of 5 thou in the yard and then transported to the laboratory. And we went across and did that tour, a look through the laboratory and the main factory. See people putting makers plates on surface plates and learn how they're lapped and how important temperature control is and some of the work that they do. It was really very interesting, and pretty well took care of most of Friday. Friday night there was a bit of a get together, YouTube creators, and excellent fun really. There's things that I've picked up from various people which were nothing short of awesome. Mike Galucius sent or passed me this micrometer, which is very much appreciated actually. A beautiful little micrometer. It's a number 576. I think it's 0 to ½ inch, and it's got a round or a ball anvil. Don't think you can see that. It's used for measuring wall thicknesses of tubes and things. What an awesome gift. It's a really pretty tool and something that I'm going to use a lot. So big thanks, Mike, and I think Dina might be responsible a little bit for that too, but big thanks, really appreciated. It's a sweet thing that you thought of me. Bruce had these made. There's a bit of a clip there. You'll notice mine isn't filed out, but it doesn't quite fit a bottle. I think the story was that they were supposed to be cut in 1.6 or 1.8 mil, and they were cut in 3 millimeter. So that's probably why. I actually filed Bruce's to fit, and it wouldn't be a huge job to do this. Just with a nice flat filer, only stainless steel. But this is a DP gauge for gears. Module one would be useful too. But if you want to know the diametral pitch of a gear, it's pretty straightforward to hold it up and to read the number. So great present from Bruce Witham at Jeb Trek Australia. So that's something that come as a really nice thing to get. Randy Richard made a scribe, a really nice scribe for the tool making competition, and if you haven't seen that prize or Shadow Dog 500th entry, or his video in fact on unwrapping the prize, get over and see it because it's well worth the trouble. But Randy sent this scribe, which is a stainless steel one. Don't know if you can see that. It's got my name on it. And serial number 17006 RR in the shop with a knurled end. This is a match, if you like, for my brass one. Which has actually blued grooves instead of a knurled end. And it's a fraction shorter too. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful finish. It's really nice. So I've got 2 of those now. And thank you, Randy, for passing that on. It's a really nice thing. Phil and Pierre in Canada sent this, and I've already put a video up of me using it. It's something I'm going to use a lot. It's a tap follower. It's all hardened and lapped and ground. If you unscrew it and turn him around, there's a hollow in the other side for a tap without a centre. Really nice tool, and really, really nice to get that. During the course of the bash, this amazing guy, Stan Zinkowski, gave me a sheet with the calibration printout for these gauge blocks. And the information basically that they're worn out and they're no good. They are worn out. If you have a good look, a lot of these will only just ring together. They're a bit worn and a little bit hollow in the middle maybe. You can see the wear in that one. But they are Weber Starrett, and they're a nice set. And for me, for a bit, they're going to be fantastic. I believe that he's replacing his set, which is these, and he passed these on, which is an amazing gesture, and you're going to see a lot more of these in this workshop. They're a really nice set to have. If you have a look, whether I actually replace those out. Some of them, I think the 400 thou one is out 85 million, something like that, so they really don't measure up, and a lot of them don't ring together. But they'll be plenty good enough for me for a little while. And a big, I guess, a heartfelt thanks for Stan and for everything else that he's done. The amazing event that he put on, and the amazing opportunity he gave me, and an amazing prize for my competition, and on top of all that, this box of goodies to bring back. So thanks, Stan. It's really, can't say that enough. Saturday morning was a swap meet. Lots of cool stuff to be had. Tom Lipton had this little V block, which is a Starrett, in his junk box. And I had to dig through and looking for small stuff and things that I might want, and things that people were putting back in the box. And I asked him how much. He says, "Oh, take it with you." So, what a great guy. I've got a Tom Lipton V block, which I might just leave on the bench here for just a little reminder. But it might need a little bit of work and a bit of dressing up, and probably it's going to get that. But for a rough work V block, you can't have enough of them. So that was pretty cool. These are on the bench, and I couldn't find the guy they belonged to for a few hours. There's quite a box full of them. Now, I believe that these are probably blanks for engraving tools. They're carbide. But they're nice and parallel, and they're in half, and they're precision ground. And they need a lap on or an angle on the end, and they'll make great D bits. So that's about where I'm going to be with them. there was a set of them more or less. There's a couple of 1/8 ones, 3/16, quarter, 5/16 and 3/8. So I picked them up, I grabbed them, and I'm going to be pretty keen to sharpen them up and use them as D-bits. These were also on the swap meet tables, a little pair of Starrett number 160 toolmakers clamps, little vices. Really nice with the original handles. They're in spot on condition. If anyone knows where there's a number 160 Starrett box, the right price, let me know and I'll sort out some money, because I'd really like to have one. But beautiful set of toolmakers clamps. Well, toolmakers vices anyway. I think the clip in that one might be bent or worn a little bit. They've got a bolt hole to bolt them down on the fixture. But I picked them up alright and paid a pretty reasonable price, and that's really the most expensive thing I bought at the swap meet on the tables there. But awesome to bring home some little things from the summer bash. The other thing, of course, that I bought, and I don't think this was even in any of my pictures so far, and to be honest it's a bit rough, it's probably shop made, and it's something that I thought maybe I could convert. When I get home I'm not so sure, but it is the makings of a tool post grinder, and I didn't pay a lot for it. It was sitting there on the bench for a long time. It's got a pretty reasonable spindle in it, could do with some grease in it. It's got a dead wheel on it. It's got a 5/8 mounting bolt, which was with it. And I think it's supposed to be a lock for that, and it's got a belt tensioner and a motor mount. Now I've brought this home and I've had a bit of a look at it on my machine. It doesn't quite have the clearance behind the guard, so I set it up, but I've only got about 1 inch travel between the guard and the end of my compound, so it's not something that's going to be particularly useful as it is. If anyone at all in Australia thinks that they would like it and would have a machine, a 9-inch South Bend or a Hercus or something that it would go on, drop me a line and I'll post it to you, and you can decide what you want to post back. So there's a deal. It's quite a good thing. If there's no takers, I might just mess around and use some of the parts to make up something that will work on my machine. So there's an offer. If anyone's interested, let us know. I picked up an American version of the Black Book, which is really good to have. A really nice book. It's got drill point sharpening gauge and everything in the back, and it's all plastic coated, so it sort of can handle a bit of oil and stuff. Good score. Picked up this, which is a Noga scraper. What an awesome tool. This is a little triangle scraper for deburring and whatever. Used this a lot ever since I've come home. Every day in the workshop, it's one of those tools. What a great thing. Might try and find another one. It's great. I was gifted these via viewer. Great guy to talk to. LED ring light, which might be fun to play with. And a USB car transformer, which I'm going to put on my gantry rather than the one I've got, because this looks like it's probably a much easier thing to mount up and quite a lot simpler. So I think that'll be put to good use. Andrew Padaka too sent or passed me this along, and I haven't had a chance to use it yet, Andrew, but I will. This is the Rook, which is a DTI holder. Quite a nicely finished thing. It's got a brass insert in the middle and nice aluminium knob with a thread in it. Don't know how he makes those. And holes to suit two different types of indicator stand or indicator stem, and a big magnet. So what an awesome thing to have. Sort of something I wouldn't have minded buying, but he come up and said, well, take this with you. So shout out to him. It's a really nice thing to have, and at some point I reckon I'll get to use that. Anyway, I've bored you enough here, and I don't know who's still watching, but I might just go out with a little bit of footage of the bash and a few photographs, and say big thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and more soon.